Okay, so I hope that all of you have already registered for the Superbase. Later we will see what we are actually going to use this Superbase for. So now everyone can go to your FlutterFlow. You may have your first app there. So, but we are going to create a new app. So for that we are going to actually click on Create New. So everyone click on Create New. For this first initial workshop series, we will try to build everything from scratch. And some of the things we will use certain widgets. And some point of other series of workshop, we will also try to use existing templates and how do we incorporate it together. Is that okay? So in our first app, what we're actually going to do is we are going to create a to-do list app. So we're going to have, the concept is to have the first page where you list all your to-do list, and then you should have an option to add a new list, a new task. So whenever we click on the button to go to new task, we want it to go to a new page where you can type in. Yes? You can't create a new one. So click on Create New, and now you're going to give your project name. So you can put whatever name that you want. I'm going to put my to-do list app. My to-do list app. If you want to put dash in between, you can do also whatever that you want to do. So give whatever name. We're going to do a to-do list app actually. So you're going to click on Start Building. Is everyone here? Please do respond yes or no, otherwise I won't know. So click on Start Building. So now we will come to the workspace. Now we have already covered. So now we are in our workspace. Don't watch the video now. We are in the midst of doing another workshop. So here, this is your workspace. So I've already explained all that in our previous video. So please do check on that. Now the first thing what we actually want to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to see on the settings and integration, which is the bottom part. So when you click on that, you will be able to see your app settings. Now one of the things that you can see here is, let me see if I can make it big, is the app name. So if you see on the question mark here under the info, this is the package name for your app, which you must have unique identity. So later if you want to upload in Play Store or App Store, if you didn't change this package name, if everyone is having the same kind of My Company, this is by default the FlutterFlow will create for you. So if you don't change this, and later if you try to upload in Play Store and things like that, if it's not unique, then it won't be accepted. So you can actually change this part as your group name, group 11 or whatever. Later you can give your group name some name. So I'm just going to put my name for a while. So something just to make it unique, that's all. It's a unique identifier. Is that okay? So that's under the app name. Other things you can just leave it as it is. Then we're going to go to, where is it? Not this one. Platforms. Then you're going to go to platforms. So under platforms, we can actually select which platform to include in a generated project. Currently Android and iOS is enabled, so we also enable web. So some of the app you can actually make it as the PWA, which is you can use the web to run your app. So you just enable that. So that is for the platform. Is that on okay? So far we changed the app details. We just added the platform to enable web. The next thing that we can do is, let's try to see under the theme, color theme. I think color theme somewhere here. Where is the theme? Oh, sorry. The color theme setting is just above the settings. So you can click on the theme settings. So under the theme setting, you can actually set the theme color that you want actually for your app. So you, of course, you can select the colors, typography, design systems, theme widgets, and things like that. But under colors, if you click on explore project colors, so when you click on explore project colors, so currently it is in edit mode, you click on explore. So when you click on explore, it gives you few types of options. So the current theme is this one. The brand color primary, it has this kind of color features. So just for the sake, and utility colors, all the other fonts and things like that. But what we're going to do is, let us try to select the purple tone. So select purple tone, then you can see it changes, right? You see the color changes. So this is the font, the body font, the brand colors, utility colors, and things like that. You can also change to like modern business. It looks like this. So it changes the template. So there are several templates, modern and bold. You can choose whichever that you like. Sleek and cool. Then you have tacky simple. So it comes with its own one set. You can use the predefined theme colors. So I'm just going to select the purple tones. You can select whichever. Then you can click on Save Changes. So it will use those colors tone for your app. Is that okay? All right. So let's now go back to build. So go back to the widget palette. So this is our widget palette. You can already see. This is of course widget palette. If you see under the widget tree. Widget tree, if you click on the widget tree, you can already see by default you already have a home page, you already have a column. For those who are coming for the first time, you can refer to the previous video on how we actually did on the column layout. You have the app bar, which is on the top, and you have the text inside the app bar. So what we're going to actually change now is we're going to click on the text. So whatever component that you click, the property of the components will appear on the right hand side. So this one, we are going to change the page title to My Tasks. So this is the first page, right? So you're going to display all your tasks. So did you manage to actually change the text to My Task? So just by clicking, then you can just change to My Task. Is that okay? So next thing that we want to do is, so currently if you see on top here, this is the responsive layout. Currently you select this particular, you can select which phone that you want to display like. Do you have iPhone 17? Don't have. So let's say which you want, iPhone or Galaxy? Which one? Didn't get you, sorry. Honor is not here. Which one? Pixel. Pixel 9. Okay, so you get a Pixel 9 kind of layout. So you can see what is the dimension like. So if you want tablet view, this is tablet view, this is desktop view. So this is to see the responsiveness of your app. Is that okay? So we can increase the size. So what we're going to do now is, this is the column. If you see, I'm highlighting it. So this is the column layout. So what we're going to do in the column layout is, the column layout actually allows us to arrange objects in one on top another. in a vertical manner. So we're going to click on add widget. So we're going to add child to this column, because this is my task. So here we want to display the list of all our tasks. So if you remember in our first class, which layout that can allow us to view in terms of list? List view. Yes, very good. So you click on this widget. So you can see under layout elements there is list view. So click on list view. So now you need to make sure you can see under the widget tree that your list view should be inside column. Right, do you see that? So the list view is inside column. So list view, what is list view? So list view, it actually enables us to put in the list, and you're able to scroll whenever you actually have more than the page that can accommodate. So we are going to actually add what we call as a cart. So we have done that before in our first class, right? In our first workshop, I mean. So under the list view, click on the widget. So now under the widget on top here, you can see the first one is the built-in FlutterFlow widgets. Here are some of the custom widgets defined in this project. And then there is also the template widgets, and there is theme widgets. So we're going to use like the template widget. So you can actually search for cart 36. So under cart views, do you see this cart 36? So what is all this? These are all the different predefined widgets that you can readily use for per list. So how you want. So there are various kinds of carts. So we are going to use cart 36. So click on this. So I'll add. Do you see that? So this is actually one list. So out of, let me just enlarge this. So here you have task type, here task text, you have text, due date, update, badge, and things like that. So for now we don't need all this. So we can click on it and delete. So click on the item and delete. So just leave the text and also these two text. So everyone managed to do that? Cart 36. It's cart 36. So here the first text, you click and you change the text to task title, and this one you just leave it as task description. So you have the task title, you have the task description. Everyone's okay on that? Yes. So you just want to keep these two, which is the task title and also the task description. So next thing that we actually want to do is, in this page of my task, it will be displaying all your available tasks. So now if you want to add a new task, so you need to have a button for you to be able to add to new task, right? So for that, let's go to the widget here. So you already can see a button, right? So when you click and you drag and bring it to the screen, do you see the blue line? That actually indicates where the button is going to be. So if you bring the blue line here, if you bring the button somewhere here, wherever you see the blue line, that's where the button is going to go. But we want the button to be down here, there when you see the blue, this blue line, below the list view, not inside the list view. So now the blue line is below, so leave it. So now you can see the button is being added below. So now currently the button is being added, and you can see the button is actually expand for the entire screen. Wait, sorry, let me click on the button. Where's the button? Where is the property? So let me just try to see. Okay, wait, hold on. This button is inside the container. Just hold on, I'm just checking. Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let me do the button again. Where we actually want it to go is, I delete back the button, because earlier it still ended up inside the row. So again, do back the button. So bring the button. Do you see there's a blue button here? So we want to leave it there. So then it comes below it. So this button seems to be very close with the list title. So click on the button, and now we can actually see the property of the button, right? You can see the property of the button. So here, if you scroll down, we can actually add the button padding. So here you can see the T, top and bottom. So T means the top. So let's say you can click here as a T and you type, oh no, sorry, this is button. Why the padding is, oh, okay, hold on. Let me just check the list view. No, it's padding, but I'm just trying to check. Just hold on. So click on the button component, then you can able to see the padding So here you add 25 and you add padding 25. Oops, sorry. So now you can see it gives some distance, right, from the top task. So this is named as new task. So what we actually have done so far in the first page is you have a list of all the tasks which will show you the task title and also task description, and whenever you want to create a new task, you have a button to create the new task. So when you click on the new task, we want it to go to another page where you can now input what is the task title and task description. So in order for us to do that, we can go to pages, page selector. So click on page selector. So you can click on add page. So click on add page. So this new page, we're going to name it as new task. Oh, sorry, not that. You click on create blank. Click on create blank. And then here you type new task. New task and click on create page. So now you see there's a new page which is on new task. So under your project you have the home page, which is this one. Now you have another page which is new task. Is that okay? So under the new task, you can see the page title. This page title, you change the properties to, where is it? Page title, you change it to new task. Is that okay? Okay. So now under this new task, we actually want to add a widget, which is we want to add what we call as the form validation. So you can search for widget validation. So there is this form validation. So under this form validation, we can actually try to have capture the input text and things like that. So drag and drop the form in the new task. Have you added the form? So under the form, so when you click on the form, the width you actually select as infinity, so it will fill the whole width. So let's go back pages. This is let's go to the new task, the tree widget tree. So you can see there's a new task, and there is a column. Inside the column, you actually have the form. So inside this form validation is where you can actually capture all this user text input. So inside this form validation, you are actually going to create a form. Then you can have multiple text inputs and things like that, and you will combine all these multiple text input as one form. So under this form, you want to add child. So under this form, you want to actually add, so I hope you are able to follow in terms of design. You have the new task. You have in the main page, you have a column layout, which means anything that you add inside is going to be stacked. Now the first element that you add inside the column is what we call as a form validation. So whatever user text input that you put under the form validation, you can actually capture it at one go. So what we want to do is, now inside this form validation, we want to include two items, which is task title and task description. So two things. So because we want to arrange these two things also in stack, so what we want to do, we want to add a column layout inside the form. Is that okay? Then inside this column layout, what we want to add, now we want to add what we call as, let's search for text field, this one, text field. So add text field. Currently this text field is highlighted right in the widget tree. So if you click Ctrl D, it will duplicate. So do you see that under this form validation, we have included a column layout, and inside that we have two text field. Here is where the user can type in the values. Sorry? Enter value. They can type something because it's a text field. So click on this one, the first one, the text field, and we are going to change the, where is it? Under the text field, you scroll down to, there is a hint properties, this one, under the hint properties. Hint properties means you are giving the hint to the user what to type there. So what you want to type here? Basically you want to type what is the task title, and this one you are going to make the, where's the, we control the width, so we change this to task title, so you can see the hint, it changes. Yeah, the width. So currently you can see the width, it's set as 200, but how to know what is, one thing of course you can make it infinity, which means it will go end to end. But let's say no, you want to have some kind of padding, or you want to give it less. Do you see that this is 393? So you can choose any value less than that, like for example 350 for example. So you can get like that. So likewise select the second one, text field, and this one also you can actually set the field as whatever that you want, which is I put 350. These two are too close to each other, so on the second text field I'm just going to add padding. Let's say if I add 10 or maybe 15, is it too much? Maybe 10. Okay, at least it's not too close. And the first one also, I think I want to add a padding a little bit on top. We put 10, so it doesn't look too close to one another. Okay, so here, maybe here the second text field also I'll include bottom padding 10. And remember that this hint, you want to change the, where is the hint? Hint properties, this one should be your task description. So we have two, 1, 2. Everyone okay up to this point? So here also we want to actually add a button, right, so that you can type, then when you click on the button, then you can actually add the task right. So let us go to the widget, button, bring it down, see the blue line should be down bottom, so drop the button. So this button is what? This is add new task. Everyone okay with adding the new task? So this is the second page where it actually allows us to new task, to enter new task, which allows us to enter the task field and also the task description, and we have a button. So when you click this button, it should go back, it should add whatever that you have typed here into the first page and go back to the first page. So currently, do you realize that you have two pages? You have the home page, which shows you all the list of items. Then whenever you want to add, you will click on new task, it will go to the second page. In the second page is where you can enter a new task title and task description, and when you click add new task, it will add to the first page here. Is everyone okay? So only two pages. This is something simple that we are trying. So if you go to the home page, let's go to the widget tree. Do you see the list view? So click on list view. Let's see. This is the list view properties. Just hold on. So not on the list view, is under the column. The list view allows you to see all the new items. It comes as a new card. Each time you enter, it will follow the card 36 style. It keeps on adding. And what we actually want to do, because the list view is actually inside the column, so we're going to click on the column. Now you can see the column property. Do you see there is scrollable? Currently it's not scrollable. So we want to allow scrollable. So click on this. This is allow scrolling under the column, the first page. So as you keep on adding later point of time, you'll see it's actually will become scrollable. Is that okay? So now let's click on new task button. Now in terms of here, we are not doing much of a fantastic or super duper UI. It's a very simple functional thing. We're just trying to see the basics. Later we can actually do something on UI or things like that. Now we're just seeing how to add simple things. Even the simple things you might find a bit something new for you, right? So let's click on the button. So we have the button now. What is that? What are you supposed to do when you click the button? It's supposed to go to the next page. So currently the button is highlighted. Do you see the first one is property? Do you see the second one, which is actions? Actions. So click on actions. What this will do is, this will allow you to add actions, what you want to do when the button is clicked. So that is actions. So you click on action flow editor, click open. When it comes to this page, select action trigger. Basically there are three types of trigger that you can do with the button. On tap, which means one click, or double tap, or long press. So you as a designer, you can select what you want, how you want the button to respond. In our case, it's just going to click once, which is on tap. So we click on that. Right. So now we just selected the response type, which is on tap, but we have not added the actions yet. So you see no actions created. So you're going to click on add action. So click on add action. So here it comes like action 1 not defined. You have not defined yet. So what we want to do when the button is pressed? We want to navigate it to the second page, right? So here, do you see navigation? So click on navigation. Do you see navigate to? So click on navigate to. If you have 2 pages, do you see it will display the names of your 2 pages. So where we want to go? New task. So click on that. So now do you see action 1 is when the button is clicked, you navigate to new task. So you have defined an action for the button. Is that okay? So now we have done it, then you can actually close this one. So likewise, let's next go to the page selector. We go to the new task. Whenever we click on add new task, by right we want to add the items and then go back to the first page. But for now, let us click on button, let us click on actions. Again the same thing, you click the action editor, the trigger type is on tap, and we're going to add action, which is we're going to first, for now we want to navigate it back to the home page. Navigate it back to home page. Everyone okay? So once you're done, you can actually close. So here on top there it shows some project issues. Let's see what are these. There's no errors, as long as there's no errors, that's fine. Let's see what's the warning. Oh, this is primary scroll under the widgets, so that's okay. Warning is fine. So do you want to see your app? So there is this one. You can run your app in test mode. So it will compile your app using a temporary link that you can actually use to test. So click on this. So it will open another page. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time, 2 to 3 minutes. Feel cool. So here there is this close debug panel. So if you don't want this debug panel actually shows you the current widget state. So as of now, the text field is all empty. There's nothing here, you have not added anything, right? So you can type something here. So you see that you have this. Whenever you type something, do you see that the text field captures your task, captures your text input? It captures, but whenever you add new task, it goes back to my task. You go back new tasks, whatever you type disappear. So what it means that this too is actually under the validation form. You have created like a form which has various text inputs. But what's the thing? Yes, now you can type. In your phone you can type. It allows you to type because this is text input. But now we are not saving it anywhere. So as of now we are just testing the button. It's working. Okay, so we can end the session. Not our class session, this one. So we'll end the session, this one. This is the testing session, so we'll end. Okay, close this one. So now we have actually set up this thing. So now we want to set up our database. So before we do that, we take 5 minutes break. So now we're in Superbase. Click on dashboard. Do you have that? Currently, do you have organization? No, right? Do you have organization? Do you have dashboard in the first place? I don't know. So I created a new organization which is I2EE, so it's easier for me. So you will have your own personal organization, right? Or you want to create a new organization, you can create. Then under the organization, you won't have any projects for now. So you're going to click on new project. Is that okay? So you can select organization. Currently, the organization could be your own, whatever long name, if you didn't create a new organization. So never mind, just leave it. So this one is project name. You can say my task app. So it will ask for a database password. So you have to put in a password. So this is to make sure the database access is very much controlled. So put in your own password, but don't forget. Okay, it says my password is strong. Then region. So this region, because whenever you want to create a database, basically you are using someone else's server, right? So ideally you want the location of the server to be, or data centers to be, closest to your place. So America is very far from Malaysia. So the nearest one you can think is usually Singapore. Singapore is the nearest one, right? So you can select Singapore. So select the region closest to your users for the best performance. Have you done that? Yes. Then just click on create new project. So let it create a new project. So it says that my task app, welcome to your new project. Yes.
How about using Microsoft Access for the database?
You can. You can use it. So here the Superbase also you can see under every project. See, this is similar to Firebase also. Every database setup is more or less similar. So you can see that you can have the table editor, SQL editor, about the database. You can also use the authentication, you can use their storage, the edge function, real time and things like that. But here we want to actually focus. Currently we are on our project overview tab, which is home. So now we want to actually go to the table editor. So click on table editor. So this table is you are going to create your database. You're going to create a table, your database table. Is that okay? So here you don't have a table yet, so you're going to click on, if you have a lot of tables, you can see all the various tables here. So currently you're going to click on create a new table. So this new table is for what actually? Actually later when you click on the new task, add new task, you want all these tasks to be stored in the database. So we're going to name this as new tasks. Is that okay? So you are creating a new table by giving the name new tasks. Is that okay? Leave everything else as it is. Later we will change this RLS security. Scroll down. Now you are able to create the columns. How many inputs that you actually need. So just now in our page, how many input field did we have? 2. What are the names? One is the task title, other one is the task description, right? So now we can actually add the names here. So let's say this one we put as task name, and you can select the type. So here we will actually select it as text. because we are just typing, right? We just want to have a text. So you can there's a lot of option. You can actually select as boolean, timestamp, date, variable length, numeric, float, integer. So because we are going to type, we're going to put as text. Default value, just leave it. And the second column is, you can name it as task description, and this one also you want to select as text. Everyone's okay? So now you are creating the column header name, task name, task description for the table. So if you want to add more columns, you can click on add, but currently we only have 2, right? So we have that done. So you can click on save. So when you click on save, ta-da, you have your table, new task. Currently the table is empty. So you have the task name, which is text, and task description, which is also text. Currently it is empty. So what we can actually do is, let us actually try to insert. We try to insert row into new tasks. So you're going to add a new row. Just now you only had the header. Now you're going to add a new row. So here you just can type in something. Buy groceries. Task description. Buy bread and Kanta from Jaya Grocer. So and click save. So now in your database you have the first row of data. Can you add another one more row? So submit, talk to, or tomorrow. So you add. So currently there's 2 rows that I've actually added. This is in your database. Everyone managed to add your own lovey-dovey message? Everyone done? Now the thing is, because just now because of the RLS policy, it actually restricts your database from being read. So just now if you try to connect it to your FlutterFlow and if you try to query, you will get 0 because the security don't allow it. So you have to change. That's why you see the RLS is enabled for this table. No policies are set. Select queries may return 0 result. So if you don't change these settings, what will happen, even though if you try to query to new task, it won't give anything. So click on add policy. So it will come to manage row level security. RLS means row. Every row, what is the security policy that you want to set? Currently, it won't allow anything. So you now have to make it accessible and editable. Okay. So now you can see you only have one database, right? New task. So you want to create policy. So click on create policy. So what you actually want to do is, you want to select all. Do you see this option all? So click on all. So when you click on all, there is this policy which actually comes out. So what this says that you want to create a policy, and did we give policy name? Oh, we need to give policy name. Allow my task. So you're just going to give the policy name as a reference to this policy. So we're going to allow my task, and we're going to click the policy command by selecting all. So you'll see this code down here. What this means that you are creating a policy name allow my task. This will be public on new task, which is your project, right? You're going to set as permissive, which means you're going to give permission for all and also to public, everyone, using, there is two things that he asks. So here you need to provide a SQL expression for the using statement. So using statement means what? It means whether you want to allow your rows to be readable or accessible or not. Do you want to make it accessible? Yes, otherwise how you want to read? So you're going to put here true. True, you're going to put true. So when you put true, what happens? Your rows, whatever that you have typed in, whatever you have entered, it will be made as available and accessible. So in your FlutterFlow, if you try to query, you'll be able to get the value. Then you have the check statement. Check statement means what? Now what we actually done, we have actually added two rows, right? So with using the first true using statement, you want to use the table, you'll be able to view these two already in your FlutterFlow. Then you have the add new task, right? Add new task means what? Now you want to add a new row into the table. For that, you also here you must allow true also. Sorry. You must allow true. So this second check means what? Now you are allowing the table to be added with new rows. Do you see the difference? Earlier, whatever that you have in your table, you're allowing it to be accessed. The second one is you allow it to be edited. So now you save the policy. So you can see now under the new task, you have policy which is known as allow my task. So now go back and click back on table editor. So you can actually see this is your new task. Alright. Okay. So now let's go back to FlutterFlow. What is this? This is different. So now let's go to the home page. We go to the home page. Now let's go to the widget tree. Now on the home page, do you see list view? This list view widget is where we want to display all the items from the database. So therefore, we click on list view and we go to the property which is, do you see the back end query? Back end query. Yeah, so you're going to click on that back end query. Everyone here? So currently there's no query, so you're going to add query. So do we have Superbase query collection? So click on query collection. And then click on confirm. Hey, wait. Why there is? Oh, okay. No wonder lah. Sorry, my bad. By right, there's supposed to be a Superbase query here. Why it's not appearing is because we never set up Superbase. My mistake. So go back here to the side here. Where is the, is it under settings? Under settings, yes. So under settings, do you see integration? There is Superbase. Click on Superbase. We never enabled it just now. So enable Superbase. So now when you enable Superbase, you need these two things, API URL and also anonymous key. Both are available in your Superbase. So if you go to your Superbase here, if you go to your project overview, yes, so under the project overview, do you see there's API key?
Yes.
Let's hold on, I can't see clearly. There should be API docs. Here, do you see there's project settings? Project settings. Click on project settings. Then you will see under the settings there is this data API. What the project wants just now? API URL and also anonymous key. So click on API keys. There is legacy API key which is anonymous public. So copy this one. Copy and paste it under the anonymous key. Then under the API keys, there is no API key. Create a new API keys, create the keys. Data API. So copy on this publishable key. And let's paste it here. And click on get schema. Okay, if not getting me, there's something wrong. Okay, you need the API or URL. Okay, URL means is here. This one. This is the project URL is here. Thank you. So copy this one and then put it here. Now get schema. Yes. So when you get schema means you're able to see it reads your new task table which has the task name and task description. Do you see that? So you have the Superbase storage is supported, Superbase authentication is supported. Later we can actually do this by using the authentication. As long as you click on get schema, so you're able to see this? Yes. Now your table is working. So now let's go back to our widget tree, list view. Now when you add query, you already have Superbase query here. So click on Superbase query. So it'll ask you to select the table, so which is new task, right? Query type is list of rows. you only have a list of rows. So you don't want a single row, you want all the list of rows, so you leave it as that. Okay, so you can actually confirm. So confirm. So suddenly you see your list will get multiplied. But just try to go to your compile. Huh? Single means you just take one single row only. We want all the list of all the items. If you are querying for a single row, then you can actually set the other filters to get which particular specific thing that you actually want. By right now, when we actually when get the project, it should be showing the whatever 2 items that you have actually added. Okay, while it's actually coming, we can work on other things. So on my task is actually done. We managed to link the list view with our database. Once this is done, we'll be able to see the effect. So sometimes you don't have to wait here. You can go back here. You can see that this thing will keep on running, means it's still getting ready. So the next thing that we want to do is you go back to pages. Do you see under new task? That is add new task. Whenever you click on add new task, we want to also add action where we want to insert a new row into the database, right? So we want to actually add that action as well. So let's go back to the action flow editor. We want to actually edit. So currently we only have this navigation, this thing, right? So we want to add action. So you can see the plus sign at the bottom here. So we want to add action. So click on add action. So here in this new page, new task page is when because we use the form, right, validate form. So first and foremost, we want to use that form validation. You want to validate the form. You want to capture all the input from the validation form. So you want to search for this one, validation form. So we want to capture the data from the validation form first. So by right, is this sequence correct? When you press the button, you go to home page and then you validate form. Nope. So you actually have to do the form validation. So you click on the arrow up. I mean, whatever in the form. Do you realize that in the form we have 2 text input, right? So validate form first. When you click the button, inside the validation form, you're going to extract whatever user text input first. Then what you want to do? Now you want the second step, you want to add rows to the Supabase. Then only you go to home page. So you want to add another one more task here, another one more action. So click on this action. So this action is where we want to work on back end database, right? So click on database. This is Supabase. So what we actually want to do, we want to insert row. Did we do this? Okay, before that, when we actually add the validation form, we need to select the form to validate. Currently is unset. So currently only form 1 is there, one form. So select the form to validate. So after you validate the form, now you can go to the back end. You want to insert the row. So what is the table? New task, and we have to actually set, you have to add the fields, which field that you want to add. So we have to mention it. So for this you have to remember the name. Okay, you already did detect task name, task description. How did it manage to automatically detect? Because we already make the integration with Superbase earlier. Okay, so what this will do now, whenever you click the button, it will validate the form. Which form? Form 1. So you will take the values, then what it will do, it will now insert a new row in the task name and task description accordingly. Is that okay? Then you navigate to the home page. So click close. Just now, is it already done? Still not coming yet. Then reload. Okay, it is reading, but it's not showing here. Why is that? Let's say if you want to add something. Description. Add new task. Okay, as you can see here, the task is being added. Oh, I think maybe because of the name. Let's check the Superbase. Let's check our table. It is entering, but it's showing empty. Okay, let me see what is the. No, it's able to read, but now it's showing. There, it's able to read. Task name. Why is it empty? Okay, we'll try to troubleshoot. Okay, so one of the things which I've actually missed, why we are not able to display whatever that we have seen from our database, is because of one setting. So we have actually set the, let me just make this bigger so you can actually see. So we have actually set this task title text and also task description text, right? The issue is we haven't linked them with our database. So let's click on this text task title. So earlier we edited the task title. Now what we actually have to do is we have to click on this settings icon. So click on this. Now you will see that new tasks row. So when you click on this, so we want to link it to the task name. So now from the database, whatever the task title is, you are linking it to the task name, and the same thing we're going to do with the task description. So we're going to click on this and we're going to click on new task row, task description. So when we actually do this, then we'll be able to see those tasks that we have actually included in the Superbase. So let us check. And yes, so when we actually run the test, we can actually see the data is being displayed. So after we have actually set the configuration of this text to the database, the configuration to task name, as well as the task description to the task description. So then we can actually see that we'll able to see the values here. So this is the same value as we are seeing here. So it shows that we are actually able to view. So let's click on new task. So let's try to add testing, and we can also put as testing, and we click on add new task. So now it actually goes back to new task, but there's no value here, so let me just check on that. Alright, for the second issue, where we see when we add the new task, it is keep on adding empty, so that is missed on one step. So let's click on tab. So let's see on the second action. Let me make this big. So why it is unable to capture is because of this, the set fields. So the task name, so we have to click on this. So under the value, so we have to map the task name properly. So we click on this value setting and click on widget state, and here you can see it shows the text field 1. You want to actually link it, map it to the text title. So from the text field 1 is the name of the text field where we actually input, which is actually linked to the text title. So whatever that we input here, it will be sent to the task name in the database. So likewise, we also have to do that for the task description. So click on the value, widget state, and we have the task description. So once we have actually done this, that will resolve the problem that we have just now. So we click on close. So now our home page. Alright, so let's now try to view in test run mode. So basically in our database we should have this table. I actually have 3. So this 3 should be I think I'll just delete this one. So you should have 2 now, right? So let's view. You should have 2 displaying. So we can see now it actually appears very nicely. So let's click on new task. So let's type in something. New task, then description, new task description. So then we click add new task. So you can see it appears now, new task description. So our to-do list is actually working very well. So we have managed to resolve those 2 issues that we are facing.